You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the May 31st, 2023 meeting of the LaPorte County Redevelopment Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. A little bit forceful. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Take me, brother, it's okay. We can go 16 minutes.
Present.
Michael Rosenbaum,
Present.
Scott Cooley,
Present.
Tom Fath,
Present.
Randy Novak,
Present.
Mark Parkman,
Present.
Rich Merzinski,
Present.
Rhonda Spence.
Present.
Mr. President, you have a quorum. Vice President, excuse me.
Thank you. Up next is introduction of new member, Mr. Merzinski. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rich Mrozinski, County Commissioner.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to be back.
We now have the oath of office for a new member. Mr. DiMartino, would you administer that, please?
Sure. I,
Stand.
I, Rich Merzinski,
Rich Mrozinski.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of
that
America
I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of
and
Indiana.
the Constitution of the State of
And
Indiana.
I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties.
I will faithfully and what? Discharge
My duties
my duties
as a member
as a member
of the RDC
of the RDC
to the best of my
to
ability
the best of my ability,
and according to law,
according to law,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Introduce Rhonda Spence.
Well, yes.
Thank you.
We also have another new member that I neglected to introduce here. Rhonda Spence, would you like to say anything?
Hi, I'm Rhonda Spence, and I'm the most recent appointee from the LaPorte Community Schools.
Thank you. My apologies for skipping over you.
Right now.
Is there an oath for? Okay, excellent.
Spared.
Yeah.
Next is the filling of officer vacancy. I'm reliably informed that Robert's Rules of Order calls for, in the event that the president is removed or vacates the office, that the vice president moves into that position, leaving a vacancy in the vice presidency. At this time, I'd open the floor to nominations for vice president.
Nominate Randy Novak.
There's a nomination.
Second the motion.
Are there any other nominations? If not, is there a motion to close nominations?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There's one nominee. All those in favor to approve Mr. Novak for vice president of RDC? Sorry, there should be a motion. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to the approval of the agenda. The agenda is before you. Are there any changes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Novak, second by Mrozinski. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. Public comment. Are there any public comments? Are there any public comments? Do we have Zoom on?
No, apparently not.
Yeah. Do we want to have Zoom on? We did advertise for it, so we probably should sign in.
I'll beat you, I guess I'm gonna have.
During public comment.
I'll just. We'll trade. You're next. You're next.
Now,
Right?
the lobby area, south of the.
Oh my God, you have a culture shock coming up.
Yeah,
It's a little different going from.
mostly the weather. But I've been here a while now.
I know, IT didn't get the memo again. Amanda, would you like to join them so, we get right back to our.
Oh, take it up range, Jim, I want, probably from last night. Matt? Oh, was that? Why would it be on TV?
That was about right.
Pull the plug.
Not plugged in?
Cubs playing today?
The only one that's always under is me.
Well, we now know why we're not IT, I guess.
Somebody hooked the laptop up directly.
You'd think the new president would know how to do this.
Never had this problem before.
All right, I'll be the fall guy.
Just saying.
Note to self call IT beforehand. Okay.
If anybody has a question, just call one of your members up here.
Yeah. Call in with your questions.
The ringer's off.
Our apologies to anyone who was trying to get on to via Zoom. If there are no objections and there's no public comment from the audience, we'll go ahead and close public comment. Moving on to communications. Are there any communications?
The communications for the month of May are, we requested and received the treasurer's report for May from the auditor. The claims and allowances were published in the Herald Dispatch. We received and processed D&M's pay request number 13. We were notified that USI Engineering, John Smith is no longer with them. And so when we need to have our D&M pay requests approved, we have a new person, Scott, to look at them. The auditor's office, we went there and prepared the POs today, picked up and sorted the mail, delivered March POs, which President Keel will sign later. JBC Ready Grant invoicing conversations we had over the month of May. Jay Sullivan had a request from one of the suppliers for D&M, Ferguson, and requested information on D&M payments to date. Talked to D&M about Ferguson's request. Northwest Indiana Forum, we had to get them to process the Ready Grant, a unique identity number and a SAM.gov number, which Mitch was handy to have. I got it on the phone in like 15 minutes or less, which was like very pleasant. Sender Dalton invoice was received and printed. The ALCO April meeting video cut off part of the meeting, and I worked with Drew and we put the whole thing together. That was great. And then the last thing is PNW has seats at their table for the Rail Summit. If anybody is interested in attending, there would be no cost. Pardon me? The Rail Summit it's in your packet. Did she not tell me that? Below is information regarding the 2023 summit. Pardon me?
June 13th?
June 13th? I'm just going to read it. PNW has a few open seats and understands the value KIP has to the region for transportation and logistics and would like folks from LaPorte County and KIP to attend. If RDC members or other folks from KIP would like to attend, I'd be happy to speak to them and give them additional information. Here is the timetable, but there is no date.
All the way at the bottom.
June 13th. And it's at the same place that some of you have been to before. Gentlemen, you must wear a tie and a jacket. Ladies, you must not wear pants.
They depart early.
So if anyone's interested, I'll be happy to take your information and get it to them. Let me know.
Thank you. I noticed missing from here was we also worked with Maiko about getting some of the minutes and agendas up on the county website. So I
Correct.
think we're still working through
We're
that.
still working on that.
Yep. Thank you. Up next is the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If there,
Motion to approve.
Second.
motion by Novak, second by Cooley. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Moving on to treasurer's report.
The treasurer's report is as follows. US 421 allocation area 1, the balance is $180,426 after claims are paid today. US 421 restricted, the balance is 0. KIDC TIF, the balance is $61,151 after claims are paid today. 39 North, the balance is $71,050 after claims are paid today. End of treasurer's report.
Is there a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Rosenbaum, second by Parkman. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Claims. Shall we take these by TIF district? For the KIDC TIF, the subtotal is $5,246.08, and there are 4 claims.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Rosenbaum, second by Cooley. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Up next is the US 421 number 1 TIF. There are 5 items for a total of $7,221.65. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Mrzinski, second by Rosenbaum. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Up next, 39 North TIF. There's 2 items there for a total of $2,129.65.
Second.
Motion by Rosenbaum, second by Cooley. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. 421 project claims. There's 1 item for a total of $208,485.62.
Second.
Motion by Novak, second by Cooley.
Yes.
Discussion.
Bye.
Yeah, we,
My bad.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Look a lot.
I would recommend that the board wait until we have the construction manager review this, and make sure that everything's going okay. I talked with Mitch about it, previous, and, they're trying to work their way through it. Mitch, why don't you go ahead and.
Usually,
and add it?
in the beginning of the meeting, John Smith, the construction inspector, used to approve all of the claims before they approved it at the board level. Now that he moved on, they're appointing another person to do that, Scott Dick. He has not had the ability to look at these yet and approve them. So recommendation would be to wait.
Motion subject to.
Approval by USI's
Yeah.
construction manager to review the claim.
We have any idea how long that second take?
It shouldn't take long.
Okay.
Within the week.
He has the claim. I sent it to him today once I found out his email address.
Okay, so there is a motion to approve subject to approval from
Construction
construction manager.
USI
Inspector.
construction manager.
That's what he's paid for, so.
Okay.
One of the
Motion and a second, I believe.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Real quick, is this the final payment?
No, not to my knowledge.
No.
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 So we're not taking, okay.
Close.
Right, I knew it, getting down there, so.
Any further discussion? That okay. The motion is to approve contingent upon the approval of the construction manager. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Up next, the I-94 US 35 Utility Infrastructure Design Services. We have 2 claims here for $900.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Rosenbaum. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Parkman. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Okay, on to old business, the 421 I-94 TIF project update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The NIPSCO folks were out there. They took care of what they needed to do to move the poles. Thanks, Mitch, for making that happen, and Guy for helping put together that agreement. They signed it, approved it, and moved it on. That saved us about a month and who knows how long with that project. I contacted Vlad regarding his payment to the county and let him know that there will be no occupancy permits issued until that is paid. And I let him know that, and that's where he's at. He's mentioned that they're on his project, not Love's, but the other one, he's going through his financing, and he mentioned that his engineer is done with the design, and that's all fine, well and good, but he owes us $75,000 and he needs to contribute it. So the Love's won't get an occupancy permit until he pays. And so we let Love's know that, and that's the lay of the land with that particular project. The council may recall, the commission may recall the project that was going to be annexed into Michigan City that decided not to be annexed. So I've been still negotiating back and forth and having discussions with the developer. And Mitch and I noticed that what they had proposed was a metal building with a brick facade. And that's fine in some places, but not probably fine in this location. I mean, this is right off of 94 and 400. So we have, a hotel and an IU Health, and across the street, of course, there's the Sisters Hospital. So I urged him to sharpen his pencil, come back with a different design that included tilt-up concrete. And I said, we understand the mathematics of all that and the changes that might happen. And I also reminded him of the difference in the tax rates associated with being in the city and not being in the city, and how beneficial that would be. So I'm waiting to hear back from Jeff and Great Lakes Capital on how they'd like to proceed with that.
Hey, Matt,
Yes.
question on the Loves. Do they have a building permit yet?
Mitch?
They're in the process of acquiring that permit now for the building commission office.
What's the expectation of the time frame for that, for the project?
Once they acquire the building permit, they want to be completed and move into the project March of next year.
So my question is, it says no occupancy permit, which basically gives them until March.
Yes.
Yes.
Do we want to let them, it should have been paid already. Maybe you could refine that to say the building permit or something else that's a bit more, doesn't give them that kind of a window. I'm just asking, but it seems to me like.
Why don't I have a discussion with him and let him know that some of the board members felt it would be really important for him to pay that as soon as he can.
I know when I first got on here, that was still
all
outstanding
there.
at that time, so.
Correct. And, he was, that was part of our discussions with the developer and the landowner, and all that went into it. So I'll reach back out to him and let him know that it is urgent, that they
Thank
need
you.
to take care of that as sooner than later. I understand.
KIP update?
Mary Jane worked to process the first claim for the bridge. It appears that the process is going to mirror the IEDC grant process, which is spend the money first and be reimbursed. Well, the contractor, not liking getting paid in 120 plus or minus days, asked if we can intercede and to make that work faster. We agreed. We'll be at the next council meeting for appropriation on June 26th to get that accomplished. And then the county would be free to pay him. In the meantime, we're processing these claims through the IDC, and once the money is received, it would replenish, the Major Moves Fund or the ARP fund or whatever fund the council elects to appropriate out of. But it's a time lag, and I don't know that the Major Moves has done any construction projects yet. I mean, I'm not aware of any. What they have funded principally are administrative and charitable donations that have to do with people and time, not materials and buildings. So this is probably new to them, but they were kind of struggling through with that. On the other end of the train, we're still waiting for the sidetrack agreement between CSX and JBC Rail. Guy and I had a couple of phone calls with CSX and with JBC Rail about the topic. As Guy pointed out, there was far too much risk being placed on the county to be signatory to a sidetrack agreement. Frankly, we're not in the rail business. Carol believed that to be the case as well. So they're going to have a sidetrack agreement that deals with the operations, which is, I think, where we want to be anyway. And until such a time we receive that, there wouldn't be any reason to go forward with funding the CSX. Did I miss anything, Guy?
You did not, except the refund agreement is done.
Yeah, the refund
Waiting for the
agreement
sidetrack.
done. We just need to have the sidetrack as backup for that. I mean, I would recommend we have that. And CSX didn't have a problem. I think they're just working through their paperwork.
Any other questions on KIP?
One other item, there's a project at KIP that's it's about 90 million or so. And you guys hear about these every now and again, but this is a project that was slated to go in a different state, and they were shooed out of the other state. Let me put it politely. And we had a meeting with this particular company. Their corn processor was a tremendous fit there. They use rail. They take corn, they process corn, we're a corn surplus area. All those good things are happening. Right now, the utilities are being tasked with meeting the requirements of the company. From the county standpoint, we're done everything we could. We mentioned to them about the infrastructure and the roads. We talked to them about using tax increment finance to make some of those improvements. The Kingsbury utility is aware of and has provided the requisite information about water and sewer for the operation of this plant. And our friends at NIPSCO are working on trying to get their numbers together. And they are a very large volume gas user. And the estimated expense for those offsite improvements are about 40 million. So if anybody has 40 million, they'd like to put in the middle at this point. Maybe come forward right now, but I think some of those items, such as who pays for that and how the roads shake out, would become part of a financing for TIF based on a $900 million project. So
I know we talked about the roads once before. Where do we stand with that, or what is?
So we had a meeting with Doug Beege, because he's representing a number of the folks, and he was going to reach out to his folks to see about we have the issue with the easements, and so we haven't heard back yet.
No.
I mean, it's going to be like herding feral cats, but.
I mean, that's a major holdup out there, isn't it? I mean, if I'm a guy coming looking to try to do something there,
doesn't look great.
that's an issue. Something we need to.
How long have we been talking about that?
10 years or so.
So what do we need to do to get the ball rolling a little better?
Well, I mean, if we're not going to get agreement, you're going to end up having to do appropriation or eminent domain type stuff, and that can be very expensive. So we need to make sure that we have businesses that are committed to going in there. Like if you have this
So is there?
commitment.
I mean, maybe I'm talking out of turn here, but some of those landowners out there, some of us know, is it inappropriate if we call them and light a fire, or what's
Nope.
the right?
Chat with them.
Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to impose anything.
No.
It's basically, hey, we want to make some improvements on this. You either need to sign off on fee simple title or give us an easement. That's
I think they want to see it happen, so it sounds like everybody's looking for the same thing, but we're not getting it done.
Well, you would think that.
Yeah.
But let me put into evidence Hupp Road. There's still 3 people that didn't turn over their ownership of Hupp Road. So, it all sounds pretty logical.
Doesn't work that way.
That just, or waiting for a payday or waiting for whatever, and it's just not going to be forthcoming. I mean, look at Babs, that whole incident. So we're trying to basically have them self-select, doing the smart thing and saying you got an easement without having to impose anything on them. And there's so many different landowners out there that could make it exceedingly difficult to start down the road of, we're going to condemn you for an easement out there. I don't think I'd get political support for that on a commission level to enter into that, let alone the legal fees. I mean, Babs was 100 and some thousand for a acre and a half easement. So please call.
I mean, I'm new to this, but we've got a ton of money spent out there, and I don't see a whole lot happening without some roads. It just, I realize it's unfortunate that the cost would be a lot eminent domain. We don't want to do that, but you know, we're not getting a whole lot of return right now.
Well, our goal is possibly staging some of the roads. If we get new folks coming in there saying, hey, we want you to develop the road in that area, and then other people are going to say, hey, that looks good, we want some of that.
Okay,
But
I understand. Thank
Theoretically,
you.
so this guy comes in, we're doing 5th line and 6th line. And they're done. You know, we're gonna finance that through the project. And we will do eminent domain on that. It wouldn't be a second thought. It'd be like, if you're gonna cause any problems, we'll just acquire it. It's a public easement. It's a public use. So that won't violate the county's own, ordinance against condemnation, for economic development purposes. So we're in line. So that's, you know, that I was joking around, you know, who's got the millions of dollars, but that's really what it would take. I think once we get started, 2nd, 3rd, 4th line will be like, hey, wow, this looks nice, better, more marketable, more usable. And frankly, if I get another call from Mr. Robinson about why his roads aren't done, I'm gonna, he's something else. He's tenacious. How's that?
All right, thank you.
Yes.
something I'm a butter out there.
Any other updates on KIP?
No, sir.
39 North.
We have a project that's almost ready to be almost asked for public action. At this point, the holdup is water and sewer, and I've asked the entities involved if they could provide the requisite utilities for this transaction. 39 North said that they couldn't without a water tower. The city said they could, with a water tower, of course. So where does that leave the project? We have a buyer that has land under contract. They have a design at the location. They've met with the planning. They've identified their need for a couple of special use permits at the location. It's about a $70-80 million project. It's related to the construction industry. And until we can give them a will serve letter for water and sewer, they're not going to close on the property, period. So the sooner that gets sorted, the better, well, we might have a good outcome. Anacostia owns the property. They would be using the South Shore Anacostia rail in the back of that. They would take 40 acres and leave the frontage available along 39. So it's a great project, works awesome, but we don't have any control over the water and sewer at this juncture. So unless anybody has any suggestions on how to change that, it'd be good to know.
Did that deadline come and go for the water that the mayor had put out?
It's
That was May 31st, wasn't it?
Might be
Nope.
today.
What was everybody know what it is?
Today.
Nay?
So why that impacts their decision is if they're annexed, the taxes go from $1.90 something cents per 100 to $3. So they're aware of that. I showed them the math. They get it. What they want is sewer and water reliable enough to run their operation. That's critical to them. There's enough land out there. They have enough movement ability for their transportation network. There's rail. There's all that stuff. So it's a good site. Works for them. It's just that these are things out of the county's control.
So as the redevelopment commission, we would have no access to helping them acquire the water or the sewer that's necessary. I mean, we're doing it in other areas. Here we've got potential for more jobs, more buildings. Is there a way we can assist in this scenario?
You're looking at me, I have no idea. Yeah,
No.
I could look into
I
it.
mean, legally, I don't know the
I
answer.
tell you, yes, there is. We can partner with whomever. Always have been able to partner with whoever. And in the redevelopment statute, not that I studied the thing, and I just read up about it when the Michigan City was trying to annex. So there's a provision in the statute that allows the entities to work together. So I've already communicated this with the city. And they said, well, sure, we'll work together. I said, okay, great. So what would happen to the TIF district? I don't know. I
But I
believe
think-
what ends up happening is this, that the city would get its portion of TIF and then the county would still keep their portion of TIF. Obviously, if it's a $6 million water tower, then everybody's putting their money in the middle to make it happen.
But at this point right now, if it's nay, the city said they're walking away, are we able to work with the Conservancy District for the betterment of that area?
I would say that the answer is yes, except my recommendation would be that this bond is a Conservancy District bond, not a County Redevelopment Commission bond in any way. So they would have to go into debt for X dollars, and we would pledge increment, or the commission would pledge increment, new increment, to pay debt service.
And that's been an option for them
That's been an option for them for,
years.
And they haven't wanted to do it?
I don't think they want to bond anything else.
no, that was their statement.
That's my understanding. That's what I was told. We've applied for, I think, 3 grants. Three grants. So the Redevelopment Commission, along with the Conservatory District, have applied for 3 grants in that for the water tower, and no success. So we've tried to do things and make it better, but
So the outcome of that will at least give us somebody needs to provide a will-serve letter. And then that'll just be about the timeline.
Would it be beneficial to get with counsel for the Conservancy District and reevaluate it, Matt?
I think that would be a good idea.
I'll reach out to him.
Okay. Just to find out what the score is. We just need to know. This company just wants to know. They called today again, said, "Where's the will-serve letter?" I said, I don't know where it's coming from yet. So
What's the chances, if we were to make that commitment, or the Conservancy District would make that commitment, that these people would be on board?
they're gonna have to be, they're gotta be one and the same. So there would be a bond closing until there was
You'd be
a
able to
real estate
make everything
closing.
contingent?
Yeah, everything would be contingent upon the company going in, their tax revenues, whatever that looked like. So 17 million times 1.9, or whatever, 15 million times 1.9. And anyway, there's gonna be an amount of increment available, and then there's gonna be a gap, right? So the Conservancy District needs to fill the gap through taking their rates and put them in there. They're heavy water and sanitary users, so there's benefit to somebody to do this. So that would be part of the discussion. They would have to go into debt. There would be an agreement. This company would, all they can be is signatory to building a building. And then the recommendation of the commission would be to pledge the increment for that. It's not a debt of the county, it's a debt of them. And we just collect a new increment from the project and use it to pay debt service on somebody else's bond, which you can do in the district.
Any capital contribution by us? I mean, is that?
I don't know that we have any sitting around, or let's say hypothetically, the council decided to consider some ARP funding. It's sewer and water, all right, as an option to throw in some capital to buy down that debt. That's an option. Depending on some final discussions and some more due diligence about 39, there may be an option to that's not available. That Michigan City has created an atmosphere where it's not feasible for Patrick to do his project. He's still thinking about it, but I don't know the answer. So yeah, we could do that. I mean, that could be part of it, but it also has to be designed to the specifications of the provider. Period. So
It just seems like we got a TIF out there that's gonna be stagnant if we don't do something, because nobody's gonna be able to do anything at this point.
the reason the district was created was for this purpose. At some point,
Unless we can send you all to some courses to learn how to rain dance.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'd take that right now, trust me.
I know that, right?
We're going to some budget hearings, budget, so that's good.
So I mean that could work, and having Guy reach out is appropriate. We need to know. I mean, I need to know these people are trying to make a decision. So,
I'll take care of it.
okay, thank you.
Anything else on 39 North? 3594 TIF.
Mr. Chairman, that's on hold. The developer at this time is kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in Michigan City. I'm sure between now and November, I shouldn't say I'm sure, I surmise between now and November that there'll be some discussions with, the potential candidates, not the potential candidates, the candidates. I think we know how one candidate feels about it already. Maybe he would be willing to revisit that. I don't know, but assume that there will be a conversation about it. Again, I think it makes a bunch of sense to have those utilities there to help facilitate development. It's, everybody can see what happens when you don't have utilities. Haphazard development happens, and it's not a lot of assessed value is generated, and it doesn't help anybody. So we'll continue to have some periphery discussions about that project and the city.
Where we at with, we just had $900 in claims, but I mean, are we still?
That should be wrapped up.
That should be.
Right. I know that they were trying to have a meeting with Michigan City to, get their sign off on it. So I'll double check what they.
So everything's on hold.
Yeah, I told them to
Hold.
stop. Yeah,
Okay.
we're done. Okay.
Does that conclude your report?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Nobody else had any questions for Mr. Reardon, correct? Okay, moving on to new business, which we have none. Other business. Does anyone have any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you all.